fans. Thank you for watching Knicks Bros TV. This is another session of Knicks Cash Report. Basically, today we really don't have any kind of agenda. I'm just gonna go through some different topics, and you know, um, um, hopefully you'll forgive me because I'll be jumping from topic to topics. Anything related to Knicks that I have heard or seen in the past week or so. The first thing, we won few games, we lost few games. Recently, last night, we lost to the Brooklyn Nets. Before that, in a very disappointing game, we came out flat and lost to Boston Celtics. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. I mean, whatever. The season is over anyway, right? We're really not discussing losses and wins and things like that. All we looking it's at the future players and who's going to stay and who's going to go. The trades that might happen and might not happen, and positioning ourselves for a good draft pick. The way it looks like it, we are going to be positioned to have one of the top five picks, which is great. Beside that, we have Langston Galloway that got signed for the rest of the season and partially guaranteed for next season as well. So he looks like he's going to be a part of the future depending on how he's going to carry himself on the field, and improving on his game. He has already, impressed, lots of Knicks fans and Knicks executives and coaches in the organization as well. But you know, so we got Melo, we got Galloway. Um, the rest really is up in the air. Lots of talk about Amare Stoudemire and what he wants to do. Looks like the Knicks are ready to negotiate a buyout with him, but it all depends on him and if he would like to do it. Um, the way ESPN puts it out there and the way we hear it is that the Dallas Mavericks would be the front runner um, to sign Amari if he reaches agreement with the Knicks on a buyout. And if it's not Dallas Mavericks, it looks like it might be the Clippers. Um, I mean, I think we do owe it to him to let him go and give him the opportunity to win a championship with one of these teams this year. And if he, decides to come back to us next year on a reasonable contract, that's something that we look to it, in the future. But just let's remember this. I mean, I personally have lots of respect for stats. Not only for his game, but remember, Amari was the player that put us back on the map. The big free agent signing that he had, and all his 30-point games, during the first 2 years, and taking us to a playoff. So it was him that put the Knicks, in my opinion, back on the map. And I think as Knicks fans, we should appreciate him. And if he wants a buyout, it's his right to do so. We are not doing too hot, and his knees are not holding up as that good. So might as well give him the chance to go and help the team to win a championship. Um, but there is lots of respect, for Amari, and I wish him the best of luck. And I hope he wins a championship, if not this year, in the future. I would love it to be with the Knicks, but we don't know what's going to happen. Another player that I'm really looking forward for to be traded is Jose Calderon. Jose Calderon been playing really well the past 4 or 5 games for the past week, scoring between 15 and 17 points and is hitting his shots and lots of assists. So I'm hoping that this will draw other teams to kind of uh, you know uh, trade for him. He has another year on his contract, total of about $15 million, which will be another $7 million owed to him next season. So it's very critical that he get that $7 million off the books and add that to our already enormous salary cap that we have. So it's important to get him traded. Also, there's talks that they are looking to trade Pablo Prigioni for a second round pick, which I would love to have a second round pick, and also getting his, I think his 1.1 or 1.2 million off the salary cap. So, all the moves that are going to be made, are basically directly related to salary cap and bringing young talent. So, you know, in the previous videos, we talked about the free agents that are available and what we're going to do with the salary cap. A lot was said, that, Phil Jackson might go after Marcus Gasol, do Marcus Aldridge, players like that. But lately it's coming out that looks like the Knicks might not go after tier, one free agents. They might go after tier two players like Tobias Harris, um, Butler from Chicago Bulls, um, Paul Millsap, even though I don't put him in the tier two category, but I'd be more than happy to have any of these players on my team. Looks like the way they're looking at it is to bring some good team players into the team. Somebody like Butler, somebody like Harris, or both of them, or Millsap. But they're gonna, keep on to their salary cap enough to be able to make a strong run at Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant came out and said, that the Knicks is an option for him, and he would love to play with them. So that opens up a door for us. He might be a pipe dream right now, but if the guy is open to play for the Knicks, and by the time he's available, if we having a very representable team in the East, then there is no reason for Kevin Durant not to come and play with the Knicks and hopefully win multiple championships. Uh, like I said, as you guys watched the previous videos, you know that I was very much against signing Marc Gasol because I was not a big fan of giving a max contract to a 30-year-old center. Listen, he's great. He's a good player. He's an all-star. He's been an all-star for the past few years. But after all, he's not Hakeem Elijah or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And at age 30, I would not be spending a 5-year contract max on a player that is already at his prime. Maybe have a couple of more years left. And then the rest of the contract becomes dead money. So I was against that. I always wanted us to go after a young player like Greg Monroe, or even 2016, Anthony Davis is going to be available as a restricted free agent. Those were the players that I liked the Knicks to go after because I want a young team. I want a team that is going to be playing together for years to come. I don't want every year to change and 10 player leaves and 10 new player come in and 8 player leave and 8 player come in. I'm looking for consistency. I'm looking for great mix that is going to stay together, for years to come, and a build a team like the Spurs or like the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors are nothing but fifth round picks and 10 round picks and 20th picks, and and they built their team off of lots of draft picks, and some good talented players like Stephon Curry and Thompson. So with that said, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Phil Jackson to build a dynasty, to build a team that can compete for years to come. And to do that, we need young players. We can't go spend money on 30-year-old players and 32-year-old players and stuff like that. Uh, so with that said, you know, it is what it is. If the tier two players are agreeing to come to New York with a reasonable price, we take them, and match them up with, a point guard like Dragon, the Dragish from Phoenix, which already said that he would love to play in New York and play uh, in a team that is run by Phil Jackson. So let it be it. I love to have him, or Rondo. Yeah, I personally, I'm big on, Goran Dragic than Rondo just because his shooting percentage and ability to hit the three. Um, but you know what? If you have the opportunity to get Rondo as well, either player could be a great option for the Knicks. The next thing I like to talk about is the beat writers and some of these analysts that sit down and talk about, yeah, this has been such a failure year for Phil Jackson and such a miserable year for the Knicks and the fans and all that. Guess what? It's not a rocket science. We all know that. As fans, we all know that. So you don't have to be writing a two-page um, article just to tell us whether what a bad season or horrible season has been. But I'm not gonna call what Phil Jackson has done failure, even though Phil Jackson came out and said that, listen, what I've done so far, what experiment I have done has fallen flat. That's fine. He's being honest, and that's what we want to hear. We don't want somebody to come and sit down and be like, well, we did it, and we thought it was gonna be good, and it is good, and this is the best. No, he came in and said, what I did fell flat. That's fine. Listen, guys, even if you go and get hired by McDonald's or Burger King, they give you a 90-day, probationary period. This guy is an executive at the NBA level. I think he deserved the right with having 11 rings, to be given more than just 1 year to be judged on and to say if he failed or, or he succeeded. You know, it's his first year. He inherited a horrible team. What else you expect him to do? He's not gonna bring players to the team when the team doesn't have a salary cap available for him. So, to be honest with you, I think he's done good. He's gotten rid of lots of players that he didn't want. He has opened up lots of cap space, and you know we cannot judge how Phil Jackson built this team and run this team until next year and even 2016. We got to see how what type of player he's gonna bring on and how he's gonna put this team together. The same way that we cannot judge Derek Fisher. We all know Derek Fisher, winner in his whole career, you know, and he's a smart man, and I have faith in him. And I think with the right players, he can take the Knicks and win them a championship. Just the patience that he has shown with this team, just the patience he has shown with all these players that don't really want to learn because they are free agents and none of them going to stay on this team. But he's putting his work in, showing him the triangle offense, showing him the offense that he wants to run. As he said, this is not going to be a copycat of Phil Jackson's offense. Derek Fisher is his own man, and he has his own idea, and he has his own plays, and he has his own playbook. And he will be running a triangle, but it's not going to be, exactly what Phil Jackson. So, to the reporters out there that, probably not ever going to watch this video, but, the few fans that we have and the few subscribers that we have, they watch this. They know what we're talking about. They know, you know, reporters like, what is it, this guy from Ian Bagley, that they sit down and write these articles about how miserable it has been, how miserable a job Phil Jackson has done, how miserable the season has been for New York fans. Listen, you're not doing a rocket science. This is not getting a PhD. Anybody, any fan with a level of knowledge can sit down and write a two-page article just to say how miserable the season has been, and so '70s, we haven't won a championship. Finally, we have somebody at the top of our organization that has earned respect throughout his career, that has 11 championships, that has shown success, that has been able so far to keep James Dolan out of his business. That has He has done more so far than any other executive that we have hired before. Okay, so listen, give him time, give him a couple of more years. We waited since the '70s. I don't think a year or two will hurt anybody. Stop being negative. Yes, it hurts to watch losing to rebuilding Celtics. Yes, it hurts to watch to lose to Brooklyn Nets. Yes, it hurts to watch you've been blown away, I don't know, by the Rockets. As fans, yes, it hurts. But we should look at the bigger picture. We should be, um, you know, getting ready for some good days and good seasons to come. So this is the life of a Knicks fan. We never get down. I mean, it's been many years, and we are just kind of immune to it. It is what it is. But I believe the bright days of Knicks glory will arrive soon. So with that said, guys, listen. Sorry, like I said, sorry for jumping around from subject to subject, but it is what it is at this time with all the losing and stuff like that, and really no trades happening or anything. There wasn't much to talk about, but I just wanted to come on and share these things with you and to hear from you, Knicks fans, and see what you think. I mean, at what stage are you, you know, emotionally, and what you think about the future, what you envision. It's good to hear from you guys. Leave us your comments. Definitely watch the video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for us. That'd be great. Definitely subscribe. If you have friends, family members, let them know about us. Have them subscribe to our channel. Um, the more subscribers we have, the more comments we're gonna get, the better debate we will have about the Knicks and any New York sport. Basically, me and my brother. Uh, yes, we are brothers, but we have two different opinions. We have different teams. We both are Knicks fans. Yes, we both are diehard Knicks fans. But he's on kind of losing side of New York. He's a Mets fan and Jets fan and a Islanders fan. I was fortunate enough to be on the winning side for many times. So I'm a Yankee fan, a Giant fan, and a Rangers fan. So and of course a Knicks fan. But definitely, we talk about everything. Not as much hockey because, like I said before, we are not like, you know, mm, let's say not professional, but we are not die-hard hockey fans to be really familiar with all the rules and the talks and things about hockey. So that's why we don't mention it a lot. But listen, Islanders and Rangers are so far this year been the only two teams in New York that kind of been playing good and they're staying at the top of you know everything and looks like they're gonna make it to playoffs. So thumbs ups for both of them, and hopefully they will make some noise in playoffs and they bring the Stanley Cup to New York. It's been a long time, but when it comes to playoffs, we'll talk about a little bit about hockey or at least update you guys on if anything important is going on. Otherwise, like I said, thank you for watching. We love y'all. Leave us your comments, subscribe, and hit the thumbs up on the video. Until our next video,